Hey everyone, Steve here at the DJ Lab, and guess what? Doing a little comparison video between the Pioneer DJM 900 Nexus 2 and the Denon X1850 Prime. Main thing people have been asking me a lot about is the echo. So we're going to go over mainly the echo and the differences between the two, but I'm going to go over a few other features as well too, just to give you an idea how things sound. Also as well too, for full transparency here, both mixers are plugged into an audio interface, so I'm not running the USB out of them. This is not a comparison between the sound quality or anything, because ultimately at the end of the day, as I have both systems hooked up here in the DJ Lab, I think the Denon DJ has a warmer sound to it. It's got a little bit more sub bass. I think it sounds better. But hey, you can always leave your comments below. Let me know what you think if you've heard the two yourself. So anyways, let me get right into it. Let's pop a little loop on here on the Denon. So I'm going to do the echo on all frequencies. We just got this little 4-bar loop going. Give you an idea how things are sounding here. Let's start off at like 1/16, 1/8, 1/4. There's that half, 3/4, 1/1, 2, 4. Now we get back down to the 1/16, and then we can go into the parameters here. And so that's 29 milliseconds is what it says it is, right? Well, you know what? Let's turn on the engine connect here. Make sure everything's right. Okay, so what we got here, let's try this again. So right, 29 milliseconds, and I can drop this thing down. We can take it down right down to 1 millisecond. So this also has effects feedback. When I go to effects feedback, watch what happens here. Let's drop it back up again. So that's a minus 12 dB on the effect feedback. And if we take it up to a minus 3 dB, you see how much of a tail it has, right? Okay, now let's go over to the Pioneer here. Start at 1/16. It's also 29 milliseconds as well at 128 beats per minute. One over one. There's the 2. There's the 4. Let's go to that quarter again. And there's my tail. So there's something that's a little bit different on the Pioneer. I can't actually adjust the decay on that echo. And that's something I can do on the Denon. Now, I'm not quite sure why you'd want to make a shorter decay, because most people like that long decay, so you know what I mean? So I wouldn't even, it's not a deal breaker for sure. But a lot of people were saying that it couldn't go down. Let's go over back to this. Let's take this right down. There's 1 millisecond. I'm going to show you 1 millisecond over on this thing now too, just for the quick comparison. You know, we got to give this a little bit more volume, just to be fair. Turn things down a little bit on this side. try to make things level on the meters here. So there's the Denon. There's the Pioneer. So I don't know which one you think sounds better. Personally, I think maybe the Pioneer has a little bit of an advantage. And the one thing I do like with the Pioneer, I gotta say, is not only do you have the X pad, but I can also use the beat. Over here. You just have that in the effects parameter. You can't you don't have any beat buttons to play around with. So I kind of do like that. It's the workflow thing. Let's just stop that for a second. One of the other things we can go over real quickly is the way the filters sound. Because they do, so there's a little effect that I do with the filter and the echo. That sounds really cool in the Pioneer, and I just can't do the same effect over on the Denon. So I'm going to show you that. So what you want to do, you want to put your filter on, crank up the parameter, make it wild. So that's another thing you see with the filter is what you watch over here, what goes on with that. Same effect. Do that 3/4 again. Let's first go in here. We have to go in, change the resonance, crank that up. I wish there was a separate knob right on the mixer for that, but there's not. So it seems like I have a longer kind of echo, it feels like, but it's just not doing the same laser beam kind of effect. It's not as wild. Now, if I put it to the middle, it's probably sounds a little bit more like the Denon when it's like got the resonance fully cranked up. But you notice the filter doesn't kill. So that's kind of a win here on the Denon because I like the filter kill. And of course, on the Denon, that's what's nice. You can make it a kill, or you can go into the settings here, and you can make that filter a bleed. Another thing I want to show you real quickly as well, too. Let's take a look at the noise. So for that, we're going to just stop the track. So I can just let you hear the noise with an echo. So that's a 3/4 echo on a white noise, right? Come over here, get that white noise going, stop that track, turn that 3/4 echo. And of course, that's sitting at the middle. If we crank that up, so, and if you don't know on the Denon, all you got to do, you want to adjust the volume of the noise. On the Pioneer, you got the volume right there. And over here, once again, you got to drop into a utility, go into your effects, go into the noise level, and then you can adjust the noise. Let me show you here. Plus 15 is almost unusable. I don't understand why they even bother. Makes no sense. At 0 dB, you can take it right down to minus 20. So pretty much you set it based on your own style and what kind of music you're playing. You'll figure out the sweet spot that you like the most. Once again, I do got to say, there's something about the Denon noise that's better. See how I've still got the hiss? It doesn't do a noise to a kill. But I'm able to go to the top and come back again. Kind of nice, you know what I mean? Over here, on the other hand, when I do that same thing, let me give it a little bit more. I'm always grabbing the filter thinking it's the sweep effect. Something you got to get used to for the muscle memory. When you crank it all the way up, it fades off nicely. So that's great. But when you come back around, it feels like you have like a little bit of space. See, I'm almost right down to from the one notch here to the next notch, or the little dots, before it starts to come back through again. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the nice curve that the Pioneer has. But I do appreciate that they have that kill. Now, the one thing I wish I could change, and hopefully this is a firmware update, is when I come the other way with the noise, right? When I go this way with the noise, on here, on the other hand, when I do the same thing with the noise, it does this transposing kind of thing with the white noise, which I guess is kind of cool. Someone could use it for some stuff, but once again, I wish this was something that was user adjustable within the menu system to be able to select to do that, or to be just like the 900, because once again, you're trying to get DJs that are used to using the Pioneer 900 Nexus 2 system to jump on board with the Denon. And there's a lot of great features, but you really should try to make the mixer be able to produce the same kind of stuff. I always talk about DJing like cooking. You know what I mean? If you give me, if I go into a different kitchen and I'm using a different stove, different pans and everything else, as long as I have the same ingredients and I have the same spices, I'm good. If I have some extra spices, that's even better. I might try them out and make something new. But I still need the main ingredients, spices, right? I still need the salt and pepper. So if you're used to certain things and then you hop on the Denon mixer, there's some things you're just going to miss out on. And it's not going to be the same And you just, once again, you're going to have to figure out different ways to do stuff. But that's kind of how it boils down to it. They're not the same, and they very well could be. Denon could easily, with a couple firmware updates, a couple tweaks, make things a little bit more like a 900. So someone who's thinking about switching, it's easier for them to do it. Like, let's look at the dub echo, for instance, as well, too, while we're here. Nice long tail on that. It's very different. Called the same thing, but they just don't sound the same at all. I think the dub echo on the Denon system is far more usable to do that kind of echo out transition. You know what I mean? And I think what it is, as I'm just playing around here, I think it's just the knobs are in opposite directions. But not really. It still does a different. This seems more like a dub echo than this one. This one just sounds like an echo. But one of my favorite effects on this mixer is the washout. It's a great way for transitions. I love it. Just trying to think if there's anything else I can really talk about. Another one that we should talk about quickly is the X pad versus the time division pad over here. This pad is way more sensitive. And what I do like about it is I don't have to engage anything to make it work. I just touch it, you know what I mean? And it's super sensitive. Where on this side here, first of all, that's pretty bright. But then you hit it and it becomes brighter. So I kind of wish it was almost not lit up or lit up a different color when it's engaged, because there's a lot of times I think it's engaged and it's not. Like, you saw me touch it and it didn't quite engage because I'm trying to do it light, right? Just to kind of prove a point. So I like the way the pad is. I like the fact that on the 1850, they put the 3/4 in there because that was actually missing from the 1800. Sorry, we got the camera's getting a little bit crooked there. Got wires running everywhere trying to figure out a way to make this all work, you know what I mean? So I can show it to you guys. So that was a big improvement. Like, the 3/4 was added after the fact. I kind of forget now how you accessed it, but it wasn't right there, you know what I mean? You had to do some trickery to make it, to add it in. Which was an oversight by these guys, definitely, when they first made the mixer of the 1800. Anyways, that's just a quick little showing you a few little differences between the two on the effects, because there was somebody mentioned about the they're saying the echo couldn't go down to 1 millisecond. And as you can see, yes, it can. Anyways, that's it for me. you have any more questions about this stuff, feel free to drop some stuff in the comments. You want to see me make a video comparing these two in any other way, just let me know, and I'll try and get something together for you. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that alert button so you know when the new videos are going up and when my live streams are happening. And I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon.